Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show. Hello if you're new. So today's video is going to be a review of Love, Wedding, Repeat. So this film's obviously got quite a few big names in here, which I think is going to pull in quite a few viewers. It's got Sam Caflin in it, it's got Olivia Munn, and it's got Eleanor Tomlinson in it. So a quick summary of the film is it's a rom-com. So it's set at the protagonist Jack's sister's wedding, and of course everybody's wish is that their wedding runs smoothly, but this has to be one of the most drama-filled, dramatic weddings ever. A lot of dilemmas, there's a lot of problems, and Jack has been tasked to fixing these problems to ensure that his sister has the perfect wedding day. And that's pretty much the rundown of how the film goes. Now, when the film opens, I was a little bit skeptical of how they were going to go with the film, because it was, getting a bit cheesy within like the first minute of the film. I was just like, oh, it's just gonna be a really mediocre, cheesy British rom-com. But within 5 minutes, I loved the film. They definitely flipped it around and I was like, okay, this is my type of film. And in terms of the tone in the film, I'd say it's got the recipe of a classic British rom-com. Definitely been a while since there's been a good British rom-com. It is very British. It's got that iconic British wit, British awkward comedy. It does it well and it is hilarious. It's really funny. There's a lot of laugh out loud moments there, and it's like the first time I've laughed at something in a Netflix show this month, because the comedy content has been a little dry on Netflix as of late. So I think most people are definitely going to enjoy this film. Obviously the narrative, it's at a wedding. They've got the key kind of tropes, the wedding guests. They've got the what list maid of honor, they've got the person trying to network, they've got the annoying overbearing guest, they've got the unhappy couple, they've got the man that can't take a hint, and of course the jealous ex that crashes the wedding. And the jealous ex causes a lot of drama, and overall there's a lot of drama in this wedding. It's a very dramatic wedding. I love the drama though, I lived for it. In terms of the narrative, I felt like it was paced really well. It was going great, it was going fabulous for the first hour of the film, but I think where they revealed a little twist in the film, that's when I think the twist actually hampered the film. I think from that twist, it didn't go completely downhill, it definitely decreased in the quality that drew you into the film. I think I was still there because the first half of the film was so good, but I think my interest started to wane just a little bit, because I felt like after the twist it started to lose its appeal and it started to get a bit predictable. I feel like rom-coms are predictable anyway, and most of the stuff in the first half was predictable, but at least there was fun, there was engagement, there was some suspense there. But I think after the twist was revealed, it was like, okay, we know this is going to happen next. We know that is going to happen next. And obviously, I guess they did the twist because every rom-com needs a happy ending. You know there's going to be a happy ending. But I feel like they could have still ran with the first half of the film, the first scenario in the first half of the film, and somehow flipped it around to make it a happy ending. I think it definitely would have been possible, and I think that probably would have made for a better film. I don't think they should have gone with the twist. I think that was a decision that affected the film badly, in my opinion. But for those of you who have watched it, what did you think of the twist? Do you think it was a nice touch? Did you kind of see it coming? Or do you feel like maybe they should have ran with something else? I'd be interested to know. In terms of the other things that I didn't like about the film, I think there was one major thing that I didn't like about the film, or that I didn't necessarily think was necessary, was a voiceover. It only comes like 1 or 2 times in the film, but again, I'm not really sure why they used a voiceover. The voiceover was okay, but didn't really add anything to the film. It didn't really add any comedic element to the film, and I feel like what the voiceover was saying could have been said in the editing. I just feel like the voiceover was unnecessary. But let me know what you thought of the voiceover. Do you think it was a nice touch or not? Another thing that I didn't, not necessarily disliked it, but I couldn't help but notice how bad Sam Caflin's haircut was. And I was just kind of thinking, who is the hair artist? They need to be fired, because how can they actually allow Sam Caflin to come on screen like that. I thought my quarantine haircut was bad, but yeah, the hair was just uneven. Shame on that hair artist, and shame on whoever actually saw Sam Caflin's haircut and let him go on without being fixed. The cast, I think it was pretty much an ensemble cast. I really liked the cast. I felt like it was a solid cast. I think Sam Caflin was great. Olivia Munn was great. Eleanor was great. She's quite an interesting bride in terms of being the blushing bride, and I think she definitely conveyed that well. She definitely conveyed those interesting parts about her quite well. But I think my favourite character in the film and the standout performance was probably from Joel Fry. He was hilarious in the film. I'd love to see him in more stuff. This is like the first time I've ever seen him, but yeah, shout out to Joel Fry because he really did that as Brian. That whole speech thing that he did in the first half was gold. But yeah, for those of you who have watched it, let me know who your favourite character was. In terms of the production, I feel like obviously the setting was done well, but I think there was elements of like even costume and stuff that could have been slightly improved. I think some people's suits and stuff looked a little costumey. The score was quite good, very dramatic, very fitting with the genre. Overall, I think it was a good, solid rom-com. It's the comic relief that you need. You're going to enjoy it. It's not a serious film. I think British people will definitely enjoy it. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear from people who aren't British who have watched the film. Did you like it? Did you get the comedy? Did you not? Because like sometimes people don't get British comedies, so I'd be interested to hear from people who aren't British who have watched it. I think it was a hilarious film. It was well written. It wasn't the best script by any means, but it was executed well. It was paced pretty well, but I do think that the second half of the film does let the rest of the film down. So I think taking everything into consideration, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. It definitely could have been a 3.5, but I think the second half of the film let the rest of the film down, in my opinion. But I'd still thoroughly recommend watching it. It's the perfect quarantine comic relief content. If you haven't watched it, let me know if this is a film that you are interested in checking out, and if you have watched it, let me know what you thought of the film or what you would rate it out of 5. As always, let me know what you thought of my review. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have, don't forget to press that notification bell so you'll know when the next video is dropping. Till next time guys, bye.